We're breaking down another dance practice today, and this time it's going to be the ILLIT Magnetic. I'm sure you guys have already heard the song. It's very addicting, very catchy. I'm still listening to it. It's just fun. It's just fun to listen to. So with this dance itself, it's very upbeat, very catchy. There's gonna be a lot of footwork, a lot of actually seamless formation changes within their actual staging, which I really do like. And a lot of the things I've seen in the dance practice isn't necessarily forced, but rather just going through the motion and making sure that it's not necessarily combo heavy because of how upbeat and just constant the song is. So let's go and break this one down. Don't forget to subscribe and let's go and roll it, baby. I like this mini intro right here. It's a little playful. So what's good about this section all the way up until the chorus is that they start off with the tempo right away. So rather than building up the speed of the choreo until the chorus, they start off the speed right away because of the tempo of the song. And what I like about what they did so far until the chorus is how they use the footwork to get to their spots. And so what I like when groups do this is when they either use choreo or just footwork in general to get to the spots that they need to. Even though that this entire section didn't really have like crazy formation changes or anything like that, the staging was really nice. It wasn't forced. It wasn't like trying to throw effects at us right off the bat, but rather they wanted to get us that upbeat feeling when you listen to this song, which is what happens when they start the section right after when the beat drops at the very beginning over here. So like just that small section alone really gives us the idea of, okay, they want us to be like having this energy as we watch them dance. And then same thing with, for anyone that wants to cover this, that's the feeling that you want to actually have when trying to cover this dance is having that same upbeat feel in order to essentially bring energy to the people that are watching you, or people that are going to watch your videos, or people that are watching you in public if you do public covers. And so what I want to point out here too is that this formation change in the very beginning is so seamless because they use the footwork combo to get to this like one formation that they do here. Like just that part right there, it was really a nice catch-up effect while using the footwork to get to the spots. And I would say pay attention to how clean their angles are. So specifically when they have their arms in a diagonal like that or just straight lines, they're actually really good at keeping the same details to give us that synchronized look as well. Great use of, again, footwork to get into this line to eventually do that diagonal formation that they do with the ripple effect. Love that. And one more thing that I want to point out with that ripple effect is that they match the way that the song is being like, or how they're singing the song. If you look right here, yeah, when she says okay, I don't I don't know how to, you guys know what I mean, but that part, nice way of visualizing that part of the song with that ripple effect. And now we got the chorus where it's more constant rather than doing combos, right? If anything, what I like about this entire chorus is that it's almost just like, it's simple. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Maybe not the hand part. And the way that I want to explain simple is that they're not going crazy with choreo. It's rather than just like in the chorus, you get to this part of this song and they want us to feel like you want to just dance throughout the entire thing. That's why they had the footwork there. They have the, I'll just go back just so you guys can kind of see what I mean. The only difficult part I would say of this entire dance is, or this chorus, is obviously the hand part, because there are certain details that they actually put in that hand part to make it look really good, and they all have to hit those same details when it comes to doing that hand part. So I'm gonna pause at a certain section here. So in that hand part where it's you, they're not just doing the hand choreo and then they like turn their hand. They're doing it exactly at the same time, and they actually use their hips, and they also change the way that their head is actually facing right when they get to the last part. So when you are actually covering this, you want to pick up those details, because it's pretty obvious when they actually switch the directions of their bodies, switch the way that their head is facing or maybe leaning. Same thing with the hands. I've watched a lot of covers. I mean, I've even watched myself. I do the hand choreo wrong, because every time I watch it, I'm like, bro, I did not do it the way that they did it. They do it in a way where it's very sharp and very clean and on time. And so the reason why that looks so good is because they have it, they literally have the choreo down to that. Like, it's just ingrained in their head. So that's really cool. And all of this is just like constant, right? There's not really a stopping point when they get to the entirety of the chorus, except the pausing part, obviously. And I think with the K-pop industry, or just like in the recent K-pop groups, I Just Wanna Rock dance is literally, they have it. K-pop is, that dance lives in their head rent-free. I swear to God, they all do it now. It's funny. And so around this part of this song, I think this is where they start playing around with more effects and kind of moving around the space that they have. I think that was a really cool detail there, is this part where they're kind of doing this knee thing, or I guess this, well, I'm just gonna call it knee thing because I see the knees for some reason. They speed it up and slow it down at this very moment. Sorry, they slow it down and then they speed it up. So this is a really cool detail where, while the dancing may seem very constant, they're applying a lot of textures in certain moves to keep us like engaged. When you're watching someone dance, specifically like K-pop groups and the choreo, you don't want to always have a bunch of like sharp movements all the time thrown at your face, and vice versa. You don't want a bunch of slow movements thrown at your face at the same time. It's kind of like storytelling. You want to make sure that you have these points in choreo to make sure that you have these moments. There you go. That's the perfect word that I'm looking for. Moments in choreo that keep people watching the dance practice or the dance itself. Yeah, so they slow it down and then speed it right back up. I think this was really cool, actually. I think this is underrated. That effect is really underrated right here. She kind of uses this like as more of a window kind of thing where she passes by and they make this wall. I think this is really cool because they literally lower at the point where she gets to the middle of the wall. They lower right on time, so she's revealed. Love that. And we get to this part right here, and she kind of just does this little playful thing with her member. Love that. And again, another thing I want to point out is that a lot of their speed changes and a lot of their energy is applied exactly in the same way, which is why they look really clean and synchronized. So what I mean by that is that everyone can do the dance, obviously, in this dance practice. But what elevates the actual dance and the choreo in itself is that the choreographer or the performance team that helps them do all this is that they clarified for the members like how they need to apply the energy in certain parts of the choreo, especially when it comes to the chorus. In the very beginning of the chorus, they kind of like speed it up. They speed it up, slow it down, and they get to the hand part to give you that fast part, and then they slow it down again, and then speed it up. So like they're applying energy in certain parts of the chorus in order to not make it like a flat line. And I've always been emphasizing that in a lot of my dance reviews, is that sometimes you will get bored of watching somebody dance because it just flat in a sense. So I actually want to say something about these three right here, specifically for this small section. For this section right here, I like how they kind of separate the two to have their own little partner moment. But another thing that I want to point out is how they stay in character here. So what's really important with parts where you don't really dance but you're still on stage is you have to literally commit to the character and or the performance that entire time. So if you watch these three, they're literally still looking at the camera, they're still smiling, they're essentially still performing. Even though they're not doing choreo, it's really important that they stay in that performance mode. Otherwise, it takes away from the actual dance and what they're trying to show us. Little pose. And they change it up for this last part of the chorus, I believe so. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really sure why the choreographer added this part right here. Wait, where'd they go? I'm not really sure why they added that. Again, we got the footwork. They even have the same bounce. I actually want to go back to this part where they're doing this little Charleston move right here. Yeah, just that small part, they have the same bounce as they do the choreo. They're not, like, again, there's not one member that's necessarily doing the choreo different, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. To look the same is not always bad. It's really good when you want the group to look like they're clean and synchronized as hell. But again, each member will still have their own style, but I think those are certain details that I like pointing out in some choreo too. Like how they changed it up here with a new combo, and then they go back and I just want to rock again. Nice way to end the actual dance. Great dance practice.